The Coastal Trails Network is an emerging 30-mile public system of bicycle and pedestrian trails linking the neighborhoods of Amesbury, Newbury, Newburyport, and Salisbury. With several miles currently in public ownership, the trail network has already begun to offer residents and visitors a healthy, alternative means of exercising, shopping, commuting, or simply enjoying the region's abundant natural, historic, and cultural resources. In large part, this trail system owes its genesis to our past. The influence of the railroad cannot be overestimated. In the 1840s, locomotion surpassed clipper ships as our region's main economic vehicle. But rail began to fall from favor in the early 20th century. By the 1970s, rail's influence had pretty much vanished from these parts, leaving behind a network of abandoned corridors crisscrossing our communities. Around the same time, people with vision and passion talked of repurposing this once vital resource. Today, many stretches of the old rail system are once again an integral part of our communities, gaining new life and new purpose. But there have been many difficulties to overcome along the way, Newburyport being no exception.
I think this waterfront section of the trail represents a pretty good metaphor for the challenges we all faced in putting this project together. There's multiple obstacles, physical obstacles, financial obstacles, organizational obstacles we had to overcome. About 10 years ago, some people wondered whether it was even possible to do this. For instance, over here, there's a private condominium association and public access was cut off along the waterfront. So we ended up building a boardwalk with the cooperation of the condominiums. Over here we had a railroad embankment that cut off public access along the shoreline, going to this old rail bridge here. And so we ended up taking down a lot of stone and excavating out this section. And then over here we had a highway bridge and an underpass that was full of trash. And so we built a new underpass and worked with the state to repaint the bridge. So many people had to come together to make this project happen, and there became a great passion at all different levels from the citizens and from state officials and others that we could make this a really great public space with the public artwork, the sculpture, with the boardwalk, with the planters, the plantings. And I think we really accomplished that here because of everyone's drive to make this a unique space.
The Newburyport section of the trail is dotted with public art installations that greet people along the way. Some whimsical, poignant, bold, or beautiful, but all add up to creating a unique experience for those whose path they come across. Some works have been donated by the artists, while others were existing works purchased by the city. Still, some were commissioned specifically for the trail. Contrasting the urban flavor of Newburyport's section of the trail is Salisbury's Marsh Trail. The trail reveals a hidden gem of natural beauty that most residents didn't even know existed.
When I'm out here enjoying the Marsh Trail, I often think about all the work that went into making it. It's so wonderful now. It seems such an easy, nice place to be. But we had years of negotiation with the MBTA. We got the help of our senator and our representative Costello to negotiate a lease with the MBTA that let the town move forward with planning the trail. We worked with Mass DOT, and they provided the money to build the trail. Today, the trail is being maintained almost exclusively by volunteers. You see how beautiful the grass is? It looks like a park. That's all being done by one man on his mower. Today I walked the whole length of the trail, and I made a little bet with myself about how much trash I would see. I saw one piece. Otherwise, it's all been picked up by volunteers. So we're very lucky that people have taken an interest in keeping the place beautiful and a place that they really feel good when they come.
Through the woodlands of western Salisbury is a 1.8-mile stretch called the Ghost Trail. The trail gets its name from trains that carried wooden carriages manufactured in Amesbury. The protective white coverings gave them a ghostly look. By rail, they made their way through Salisbury and to the rest of the country.
The Salisbury Ghost Trail has been a great project. It is something that we enjoy working on in our office. It is a connector. It has connected individuals to the community through the creation of the trail itself. It connects neighborhoods from people walking back and forth to riding their bikes to friends' houses, and it truly connects Salisbury to the surrounding communities. This trail was built with very little funding, some grants from DCR, but mostly with community effort, community donations. I think over the last 8 years we've had over 1,000 volunteers come here, spend time, and just become part of the Ghost Trail. The creation of the Salisbury Ghost Trail is a real culmination of community spirit and community efforts and just bringing all of Salisbury together to create this trail. We also got assistance from Coastal Trails Coalition, from all sorts of local organizations, as well as the Town of Salisbury Planning Department and the DPW, where we created everything and anything to get this accomplished.
With all the different ways we were able to piece together the portions of land through the easements and the land acquisition, people that made and who were the owners of the land, who let us utilize their land, really saw how great the project was once it came together and it came to fruition. I think they realized when they would give their piece of the puzzle how it would help, but once you see it all together, how wonderful the trail is and how all those groups of people came together and created this great community asset.
But there is still work to be done. Between the end of the Ghost Trail in Salisbury and the end of the Powell River Trail in Amesbury is a significant missing link of property that goes along the underpass of Route 95. After years of effort building and connecting all these individual trails, this one small piece of land has become one big obstacle.
By 2016, the entire trail network will be built. People will be able to go across the Whittier Bridge. People will be able to go all the way from Newburyport to the New Hampshire state line. And if we haven't supplied this missing link by that time, Amesbury will be isolated.
Ironic, because Amesbury was responsible for spearheading the rail trail movement in our region.
Well, when we started to talk about this trail, nobody was talking about walking trails in those days. But we had this natural resource, the Powell River, and again, we thought it would be a great idea to have a rail trail. Since that time, the Salisbury town and the city of Newburyport have all put rail trails together. And the thing that was always holding us up was the end of this trail winds up down by the Stop and Shop. There's a piece of property there that is eventually going to be site of a new hotel. We already have the leeway to go through that and get us down to Elm Street. But there's a little patch from Elm Street over to Salisbury that still has to be negotiated out. Once that's negotiated out, we're going to have a trail that'll go all the way from New Hampshire to Salisbury, to Newburyport, and wherever.
You know, we're just so close to getting this done, this regional trail. We've got to get it done. It has to be a priority. This is an opportunity with just this small project to bring back the sense of connectedness that people have not only to their community and their neighborhoods within the community, but also their abutting communities. We're all in the lower Merrimack Valley. We're all linked to the Merrimack River and the seacoast.
When connected, Amesbury should be able to enjoy some of the benefits experienced in neighboring communities.
The rail trail enhances Newburyport's waterfront tremendously by allowing people to bike, walk, ride along our beautiful waterfront, enjoying the boats, the historic sites. It's truly a tremendous asset to our city.
One of the benefits of trail systems such as this one is that it's an easy way to get people out walking and bicycling. Newburyport in particular is known as a walkable community, and this rail trail and the network that it attaches to, it makes it easy and attractive and enjoyable for people to bike, to walk, and to get from point A to point B. We read a lot these days about the obesity epidemic in the United States, and when we engineer these sorts of trails into our communities, it makes it a lot easier for people to get out and move in a healthy way that's natural for our lifestyles.
Sometimes we forget our past, but these trails were originally forged for a different purpose, with back-breaking labor, by men in a distant time whose names we may never know. And now, through great effort, a new generation has resurrected that endeavor, repurposing it for a new use, and in a way, keeping their memory alive.